Hi, welcome to Infusion, the podcast. You got Chris, the self-proclaimed power man. Today I'm here with the one and only Rach, and she's going to tell you about what Infusion, what you can expect from Infusion, and her inspiration behind Infusion. So, Rach, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, Chris.
So you're starting this YouTube channel, and you're also starting this podcast. So tell us, what can we expect from Infusion?
So from Infusion, on my side, I'm going to be doing a lot of interviews with professionals on Eastern and Western, and I'm definitely going to be talking about topics and wanting to bring Western and Eastern together and having those conversations that people don't usually talk about.
Okay, so you said Western and Eastern. Western and Eastern what? Western and Eastern medicine, Western and Eastern food, what? Western and Eastern what?
So yeah, medicine. So for many years, basically since the beginning of time, people have always very much pinned them against each other. And I don't think it needs to be that way.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's interesting because I remember one time, I know this lady, shout out to Pat Culleton. She used to work with my dad at Hennepin County, and one day I had a back problem, and she's studied in China. She's an acupuncturist, and she's one of the few Americans who can actually do acupuncture at the time. I know there's a lot now, but I actually went to see her for back pain, and she rubbed this stuff on me. It was kind of like Tiger Balm, but it was a lot hotter than Tiger Balm, and she was like, putting pins in my back and all that, and I tell you, it was awesome. And one of the things with Eastern, as you said, Eastern Western medicine, is that Western people like, wait a minute, you stick some pins in somebody and that's going to cure them and all that. And a lot of people are saying, yeah. And just in the last, I'd say maybe 20 years, they've actually went to China and they've actually studied this, and they're actually saying, hey, there is something behind this. But as we know, the insurance company, yeah, like want to spend, they want you to spend this money and all that, as opposed to having somebody, put like pins in you and stuff like that. So what are some things that if you have gotten into and some of your own personal journey to this?
So before I hit on that, I just wanted to touch base real quick on what you said. Yeah, very much. Last 20 years, medical advancement has come a long way in trying to bring them both together. And definitely in the last 2 years, you are trying to see that people are definitely trying to get the insurance to cover more of the Eastern medicine. Now, back to your original question.
My original question. Yeah, what are some of your personal journeys that brought you into this?
Personal journey.
Because I mean, was it one of those things where you just woke up and said, "Hey, I want to bring Eastern Western medicine together"? What is it that inspired you or got you into this to get you to create all this?
So yeah, definitely. So for me, I grew up in a very Western family.
So did I.
Yeah. So growing up in a very Western family, it was a hard topic to bring up to my family. Hey, I'm trying and bring a more natural path to my family. Actually, my oldest son was on Ritalin and started studying it and found out very negative effects of it, and started studying some of the natural aspects of what you could do to help with some of the hyper action of children's ways. So for legal reasons at this time, I can't actually say a diagnose, but I think many people that are listening to this can kind of guess what I'm targeting this towards.
Oh yeah, well that's the thing that happened with me was I was this fat kid, and I wasn't like extremely obese like they are now, like some kids are now, but I was a big kid. But back then, I played football, baseball, kickball, just in the neighborhood. Then when I got older, I was still kind of a big guy, and when I started getting into weightlifting and exercise, I got a lot more into it, and I found out that I needed to be a lot more natural. Because one of the things of course, when you get into this, you start buying these supplements. There's multi supplements. There's protein shakes. And you go into GNC and you see or any health food store and you see all these powders and all this, and you're like, what is this stuff? What is this stuff I'm putting into my body? Then all of a sudden, I was doing it for a while, and yeah, some of it helped. Like I did creatine and stuff like that. But one of the things I wanted to stay away from, I stayed away from the steroids because I'm like, I've seen the effects of steroids, and it's like, I don't need to be that big. I'm not competing, and I don't want to get there. But one of the things I found out was that, what is this stuff I'm putting into my body, and then what is natural? Because I look at some of this stuff is like made in labs, and it's like never seen like, this is protein. It's like, okay, well, you can also get protein from, fish. You can also get protein from meat. So then when I saw this movie, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, I said, oh, I've been doing it wrong. I gotta go more natural. So then I started looking at the leafy greens and the vegetables and the fruits and stuff like that. And this stuff is God made, and this stuff is good for you. And I'm like, man, everything I need was right at the produce section at Cub Foods, or any supermarket. So what are some things that have changed in your life that you go, okay, hey, you know what, this is the way I need to go,
As you were saying, a lot of that powdered down stuff takes out a lot of the natural stuff, and then they add more powdered stuff to try and, create proteins and calcium and other things. And very much so, you can find it in your produce section. So for myself, when I was fighting a lot of things from my
nourishment.
My nerves. So
Nerves.
I had had a surgery, and it caused a lot of nerve damage. And instead of taking a lot of the medications that the doctor was trying to prescribe to me, I went and to my produce section and built my own capsaicin cream.
Okay. Capsaicin cream. What exactly is that?
So I would grab some hot peppers and some oranges, and use the skin, the rind off of them, and I would grind that up, and I use it as a paste to try and counteract the nerve damage.
Okay, and then you did that, and then all of a sudden you came into essential oils that you...
Exactly, yep. So essential oils from doTERRA have guided me even more into the Eastern aspect of life, and the more I studied on how healthy the oils were, I very much started, well, what else is healthy that I'm not bringing into my family's life? As you know, I have 5 kids. Mm-hmm. So, and have a mother and father, sister and brother, and what could I bring to them to help with whatever they're ailing with, and whereas some of them have resisted the Eastern life, I have not resisted Western medicine. I also work in the hospital and love everything that the Western medicine does, but the reason why I'm going forward in Infusion is because I honestly believe that the two of them could be easily paired with each other. When my daughter broke her leg, I used frankincense to help with the healing, but I went to the doctor to have the surgery for her broken leg.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's an interesting thing, because also in your family, you have a brother who's a doctor.
Yeah, I do.
Who's a Western doctor, surgeon, I think it is.
Yeah.
He's a surgeon, and he even says, now this guy's a doctor, a Western doctor, and he's even saying, there's some things that Eastern and Western can do and can help each other, that we should definitely merge the two. But when you got into the essential oil, you found different things, and you found things that could help you. And then you took a class or something like that, right?
Yeah, I took a couple classes. I grabbed a bunch of books on essential oils, and those books led me into other books on herbs and Chinese culture on medicine, and has led me into other books on not just Chinese culture on how they take care of medicine, but other cultures and how they take care of their medicine.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing too, because okay, I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag. Me and Rachel are actually we're actually a couple. We're fiancés, and we got into this. And I remember when she started getting into the essential oil, because I've always been kind of I can say just kind of like, hey, try it, go for it, because she was getting essential oils from this one lady, and this lady was like, I can only make it when the moon is blah blah blah. And so she goes, I'm gonna take a class on essential oil. I said, yeah, cool, go ahead and do it. And she took this class. She goes, oh, my instructor's really nice. You got to meet her. I said, yeah. So she came to the house. She got into this, and then she started reading a lot more about it and started getting it a lot more. And we've all started to get into it too. And I've actually used some like in my cooking, like, whoa, it just brought the cooking out. And then she's like, I want to do this YouTube channel. I said, okay, yeah, great. Let's go for it. Which brings us here too, also the podcast. So one of the things is,
Hold on. Now, something you really strongly need to understand about essential oils is before you just throw it into your cooking, you have to make sure it's pure.
Yeah, pure.
Pure. So don't go get it at Walmart. Don't go get it at your pharmacy, because only 5% of that small little bottle has to be the actual thing. So if you're buying something at Walmart that says frankincense, you're going to see it for $5 and you're like, ooh, what a bargain. But only 5% of that has to be frankincense, and none of that other 95% on that bottle do they have to tell you what's in it. So do you really want to internalize that stuff on your body, your body?
And that's the thing too with supplementation, because I know a lot of people get supplementations. I see them mixing their powders and all that at the gym before a workout. But it's like, what is this you're actually putting in your body? And there's no government regulation as far as this has to be this much, this has to be this much. So they're saying, oh, you get whey protein by this big jar thing, but you're only getting so much whey protein, and the rest of it got fillers and sugars and all that, which for me led me into more of the natural stuff, like the fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, because that stuff, I'm like, I'm getting the real thing, blending it up, getting the real thing. And I can't like sip the stuff. I got to like throw it down me. But it does help, and it is good. I've noticed big improvements with it. And it's like right there at Cub, right there. And if you're like, well, Cub Foods, they do this, go to food markets. I mean, it's April in Minnesota right now. So next month, all the food markets are coming up. So it's a great place to buy your fruits and vegetables. They're all natural, and they're locally grown too,
Oh, absolutely. When you were working at the food market, I was totally loving that, and bringing the kids there and like opening their eyes to the other things that were at the food market. Absolutely. Bring your kids there, and you can enjoy the things that the food market has for your family.
Yeah, you got to support the food markets. Yeah, definitely support the food markets. Now, what are some things that you want to do with Infusion, and where you want to take Infusion?
So definitely another place that you guys could definitely find some healthy places like the food market is, if you remember when I was making the dream catchers, we were going to the bazaars and stuff, and we were providing all that healthy stuff there too.
Oh yeah, lots of good healthy. One of the things too I found out with one of the good things about COVID, and I'm not saying that COVID was a great thing or anything, but one of the things everybody saw with COVID is that the supermarkets were like getting raided. I mean, just getting they're getting out but a lot more people started cooking. And with this thing, everybody started cooking at home because you couldn't go out. A lot of people started finding like, hey, you know what? We want more fruits and vegetables. Our kids are eating healthier. We want more natural vegetables, natural fruits, natural stuff to cook with, And it brought a lot more people old school back into the kitchen, where our kids aren't eating this junk. They are getting a good home cooked meal. They are getting this and we saw that with the food. And I thought it was a great thing. Too bad about COVID Now, one thing we also very, very want to stress is this. What we're talking about is essential oils and all this stuff in Eastern and Western medicine. But if you do have a problem, you do have an ailment, definitely go to a doctor first and find out what's going on first.
Yes,
We're not
please.
saying stay away from the doctor. Doctors, go to a doctor and check out what you. But also, too, you have to do your research. You got to do your research on things, and you got to find out what works for your body and what's good for your body.
So one of the reasons why I want to do the interview with professionals in Eastern and in Western is because we are not actually professionals. We are educated in these lines that we will be doing in the YouTube and on the podcast, but we are not professionals.
Yeah, and we will also be bringing you stuff, information stuff where you can get a hold of these people that do this and that are professional in this field that to do and who to talk to, and hopefully can steer you on the right path. Like one of the things that happened with me is I'll be hosting a thing called Power Tips. Had to do that. I'll be hosting this thing called Power Tips, and one of the things we're going to be talking about is injuries. Like a lot of people get injury, they want operations, or they go for operations. How to use like massage, how to use oils and different elements to help with injuries, help with aching muscles and stuff like that.
But also exercises, right?
Exercise, yeah, definitely got to exercise. That's the word for exercise. I'm going to keep that button with me. So also too, one of the things about Infusion, one of the things I wanted to ask you about Infusion is where do you plan on going with the essential oils and with yourself and as you go on this journey, as you go on your journey?
So I want to talk about, I see endless journeys in this and endless topics. So one of the topics I will be talking about is history through the war. My dad has studied the heck out of Civil War and medicine in it. So my father will be one of the interviewers that we will have in the future. My brother will be. It won't be just a family thing, most definitely. So we have our Reverend, who will be a future interviewer. And what's special about our Reverend is that she studies all religions.
Yeah, all different religions on. And it was interesting because I actually got you into if you put a name on a religion, it's called New Thought. We can't get into it right now, but definitely look it up. But we'll definitely have her on the show. Can't wait to have her on the show. We'll probably have her do a video interview and a podcast with her, and she's very interesting to talk to. And she also used the next stockbroker too. So.
So yeah, she's so wise and just for being of elderly generation, she brings such a young generation into our religion, and just she is not biased to anyone, and gladly brings in any religion, any color, any LGBTQ person. She doesn't care where your life has come from. She just wants to help guide you in the best you.
Oh yeah. She's actually she had a I think it's safe to say she had a daughter who was an alcoholic, and she actually helped her daughter get off that disease and cure herself of that disease. One of the things about that too was that it was one of the things, and she's told this to me, so I feel it's okay to share that. She said her daughter said to her, like, "Mom, it just ain't fun anymore." So she worked with her daughter, and her daughter's been sober for I think it's double digits in years and stuff like that. So it's going to be a very interesting podcast and a very interesting video too, YouTube video.
So some of the other interviews that we'll have is some of the people that we know in Western medicine, and some of the people that we know in Eastern medicine, and most definitely talking about those hard topics. One of the topics that I was talking to Zoe about, our daughter, was
Presbyterian.
Yep, and we'll be showing a couple of those wonderful recipes that Chris makes for her and some of the episodes on our YouTube channel. And just one of the topics that I talked to her about was talking about how women don't have an open conversation about wanting to look at fertilization and having a hard time with that. And then also for myself, I want to have a future conversation about suffering from PTSD from COVID and everything I had to deal with my coworkers, amazing people that I love and work with, because of COVID, and the other form of PTSD because I just was in July recently diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor. So it will be interesting to talk to other people about the tumor and just getting some love and light and guidance. One of the other definitely not last, but the other person I would like to talk to is a herbalist and how he's come into my life.
Oh yeah, and yeah. So stay tuned for more. Stay tuned and look for us on YouTube. We're going to be all over YouTube, Instagram, all that. Look for Infusion. It was nice being here. Nice to share. And please come back and listen to the podcast and look for the YouTube channel coming soon. One more thing from Rach.
And if you guys want any topics brought to us, hey, just hit us up and we will gladly bring them up in future.
Okay, so coming soon to a computer near you. Like I said, check out YouTube or check out the podcast, and we'll definitely have stuff up on our Facebook pages where you can tune into and where you can find us. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you, Rach.
Of course, thanks.
And thanks for joining us for this podcast of Infusion, the podcast. I'm Chris Patrick, self-proclaimed power man, and I will see you later.